Joseph is in jail. He's in prison for 2 years. You know the story. He's in prison for 2 years after he interprets the butler and the baker's dream. And the butler is supposed to get him out of prison. He forgets about him for 2 years. For 2 years, Joseph thought he was out of the will of God. He wasn't a prisoner of circumstance. He was a prisoner of a prophetic process. And God wasn't going to release him until the perfect moment. And he thought, and if you could, you would. This is the problem I have with people that don't understand the power and limitation of your confession. Just because you confess it and you find it in the Word doesn't mean it's God's plan for you. Because if Joseph as a prophet had the power of confession, he would have confessed himself out of prison, out of Egypt, and back to his daddy, and it would have been the most dysfunctional family reunion Dr. Phil ever hosted. Because it would have been, I'm home, Dad. What do you mean you're home? I thought you were dead. What? You lied to me. Oh, we put him in a pit. We should have told you. You put him in a pit. Would have been a disaster. Worse yet, while they're working out the reconciliation in the family, a famine hits and they all die of starvation. Because a famine was coming. Joseph had to be in Egypt where God was answering his prayer the way God wanted to. When you're confessing what God is doing in your life by the Word of God, there's power in it. But when you're confessing something that pulls you out of the place God put you in, sorry, he's not obligated to make that confession do anything. It's not a magic potion anyway. It's the utterance of God in your mouth. And if God's not saying it, no matter how many times you say it, heaven isn't in agreement.